New audio shedding light on the moments before some of Nolan Wells' friends left Horn Island off the coast of Mississippi. A mom of one of the friends last week said the group left without Nolan when their boat began malfunctioning.
We're sinking. Can you all please come?
NBC News has obtained audio as part of a records request that details the group calling for towing assistance.
And is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's on board.
Nolan went to the island in a boat with friends on July 4th. His body was found 2 days later. It's unclear whether Nolan was with anyone when he disappeared. This as the search for answers in the death of 18-year-old Nolan Wells continues. His family's attorneys saying they'll now work side by side with investigators to analyze Nolan's cell phone. Nolan's parents previously said they believe content may have been deleted from the phone. The case will be presented to a Mississippi grand jury once the investigation is complete. The local district attorney telling NBC News that's a standard practice for cases with an unknown cause of death and not an indication that a crime was committed.
Good afternoon, fam. This is a special report. I hope everyone is having a lovely Friday. I've decided to keep tabs on the whole Nolan Wells case, as you can see. From what I gathered from all the various news articles and videos I've looked at literally half the night, everyone's saying the same thing: mysterious death. No suspects still have not been named or identified. However, now everything that's done in the dark is coming to light. Once I found out the feds got involved, now the FBI is involved, and they moved his case to the grand jury. Now this simply means it's up to the grand jury to decide whether or not they have an actual case, and if they're going to move forward, if there's enough evidence to prosecute whoever's involved that they're investigating. See, nobody is saying nothing, but as you can tell, everything is coming to light. The GPS navigation, like the news said, it's being disclosed that there's stuff that's not adding up. Times are off. Locations are off. Nothing's matching. Another big one, the whole letter BS from one of the judges who was the mother of one of the white boys that wrote whatever. It's all bullshit. Everything is bullshit. I don't trust nobody in that town. Hell, let alone the law enforcement there. I don't. Because it's like, who do you trust at this point? You have judges. You have all types of high-profile people in law enforcement who may have been possibly involved to try to cover this up. It's too many people with too much power involved. And I think what's happening also with the autopsy, because everybody kept bugging, what's going on with the autopsy? Are the results back? Well, some of the people on TikTok are saying that the results are in. However, the news has not confirmed anything about the autopsy. They're saying that they're still waiting for them to be released. I think what's happening, in my opinion, Mississippi is playing dirty. They're holding on to their results because, as you can tell, they're the first ones who did theirs. So, of course, they're not going to release theirs. They're trying to see what Ben Crump and them and his legal team got from their independent autopsy that they performed in Washington, D.C. And I think that's what's happening. They're playing chess. But see, Ben Crump ain't dumb. See, Ben Crump is going to wait and best believe until they get their results. Then he's probably going to release their independent results. Yeah, he's going to wait on Mississippi to see if they'll flip their card over. And if they don't, then they're probably just going to sit there and play the waiting game with the grand jury. Because that's a big break with that GPS in the boating system. See, one thing you can't hide is technology. I try to tell people, it don't matter. If you're in a car, you're in a boat, even if you're in a truck, anything with any type of GPS technology, they can pull them records so far back, you can't even hide it, even if you tried. And I believe that there were multiple boats that were involved, not just that one boat, because I've been hearing down the grapevine of, speculation, people are spectating on this whole case, that several boats may have been involved in this case because they were all going to the same place at the same time. And here's the big red flag. When the so-called friends, who were never his friends in the first place, said that they last saw Nolan at 3 p.m., the GPS said that they didn't leave that island till 4 p.m. Uh-oh, somebody lying. So that just goes to show you, them times ain't adding up, boo-boo. The jig is up. Some of y'all are gonna go down. If they don't get all of you, some of you will definitely go down, for sure. And I hope and pray to God, whoever was in the midst of helping them, trying to cover their tracks, goes down as well too. I hope and pray they go down. Because it's just too much. It's too many discrepancies that's not adding up, too many contradictions. Nothing's adding up. Even the house party that I kept hearing about with the white girl that was involved. They said that he went to the house party and then someone lied and acted like he was at somebody else's house or something. And they try to play it off like, oh, his keys aren't here. They're at so-and-so's house. When the daddy went to go look for his keys. Had the parents not had that Insta360 where they can track their son's phone, they would have never found that boy's phone. But because they had a phone tracker and they tracked his phone, that's the only reason why they found out where his phone and his keys were. But yeah, it's very unfortunate with everything that's going on. I feel so sorry for the mother. I feel so sorry for the father too. It's very, very heartbreaking to see all this unfold with no answers. You know, we see what's going on. We're not dumb. We clearly see the bullshit for what it is. But here's my thing. Why isn't anybody coming forward? Why isn't anyone coming forward? What is the problem? Is it retaliation? Is it fear? I feel like everybody is so scared in that little old town, nobody wants to talk. Now, they did say, according to certain news sources and you know, different content creators that I've seen on Instagram and TikTok, they said the girlfriend or the white girl, the person of interest that he was with, is cooperating with law enforcement. She did give her testimony. And the funny thing is that everybody acting like they don't know where he went and they ain't seen him. But that pool party picture that's been floating around social media, oh, it's a telltale sign that everybody saw him. And they keep swearing up and down that pool party picture I saw that's been floating on social media is an older picture that wasn't on the 4th of July, supposedly. Well, if that's the case, so they say, if it wasn't on the 4th of July, why did one of them goofy white boys post that same pool party picture that's been floating around? Not the boy from the boat, a different one that wasn't associated with the boat. But somebody at that party posted a picture on social media the day after the 4th of July, July 5th. And then all of a sudden they deleted it the same day. So what does that tell you? If that picture was old, why was it deleted the day after the 4th of July? You got to ask those questions. See, people don't pay attention to the smallest details that's unfolding. And they're all just trying to cover their tracks. That's all that it is. They're all just trying to cover their tracks. But another update I've learned is that according to the news, the parents are holding his funeral services on Monday, July the 20th. I'm not sure where, but I'm pretty sure if you Google where the funeral services are going to be held, I believe it's going to be inside of a church or a stadium of some sort, or some type of convention center, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere down there in Mississippi. But yeah, they confirmed that they're going to hold the funeral on Monday since they finished their autopsy stuff. They're just waiting on their stuff to come back. But yeah, they said that the results are in for both parties. but neither party is inclined to share right now. So we'll see what's going to happen next. But the main thing is that the feds are involved, and now it's up to the grand jury to say yay or nay if they have a case, if they have enough evidence to put someone down. So fingers crossed, everybody, that they have enough evidence and they can indict someone and prosecute someone, hopefully, that's responsible. Or some people, because we know it's more than one person. Let's be honest. We know it's more than one person. We ain't dumb. But yeah, that's the only other updates I have for now. Oh, actually, no, there is one more update I just thought about. So y'all remember that goofy black boy, the mixed breed, that was said that he was the so-called best friend of Nolan Wells, and he made a statement. He had like a janky interview with TMZ talking about it was him that was yelling, "Give me my effing phone back." Well, guess what? Now he's getting all types of death threats from all types of people on social media. Him and his little buddies, they were running a scheme on let's give false testimonies and fake reports to news outlets to throw them off their game. Talk about FAFO in real life. See, this is what happens when you don't keep your mouth shut and you go to the wrong people thinking that you're going to make a difference by running your gums, not knowing the whole situation. And this is the thing that people don't understand. When you say you're a friend, in quotation marks, a real friend, if they really were his friends, wouldn't have never left him behind on that boat. That's all I'm saying. If you was a real friend, you wouldn't be bumping your gums to TMZ and all these other news outlets trying to get some shine and some fame, because all these reporters are coming to you trying to get messy gossip and tea so they can put it in the newspapers and the videos and stuff just to get some traction. You know, I can't stand ignorant people like that. I can't stand them. I just can't. Because I'm just like this. You were never a friend. Never a friend. That's why I tell people, be wary of people that say that they're your friends. They use that word very loosely. No, they were probably an acquaintance, but you were never his friend. His parents even said it on an interview. They said, we don't know that boy from nobody. His name was Trayston something. Yeah, they said, we don't know Trayston. We've never met him. He's never been in our house. But yeah, he says he's Nolan's best friend. We ain't never met him. That's why I tell people, you got to be careful. You got to watch who people be saying that your friend, this is your friend. Not everybody's your friend. In real life, though. All these people on social media following you and shit, they're not your friends. Strangers. Hell, I'd rather deal with a stranger than deal with a motherfucker I know right now. To be honest, let's call a spade a spade. I'd rather deal with a stranger that I know that's going to support me and probably give me more advice than what I've already gotten from the people that actually know me. Because even if you know them, that doesn't mean that they're your friend. Even if you grew up with them, that doesn't mean that they're your friend. Those are acquaintances. Now, unless you share a mutual relationship, unless you're very close to that person, unless you trust them with your life, then yeah, you can probably call them your friend. But anyway, all I got to say is more power to you. I hope that something comes out of these results, and I hope and pray that somebody goes down, because I'm tired of the bickering. I'm tired of the back and forth. I really am. I'm sick of all of it. I am. At the end of the day, we all we got. We are on our own, y'all. We really are. And as a people, Black people, the Black collective, speaking towards us, we have to stick up for each other. Ain't nobody else gonna stick up for us. Period. But y'all let me know y'all's thoughts in the comments below.